I'd like to welcome you to the final in the series of four live uh, instructional webinars designed to support the school annual online yearbook program. Today, we will be focusing on the functions that relate to proofing and submitting your pages. Specifically, we will be reviewing using the virtual book, running spell check on pages, reviewing pages for duplicate portraits, completing pages, reviewing completed pages, submitting pages, and getting the proper paperwork finalized at the time of submission. This webinar will be approximately 30 minutes, so let's go ahead and get started. So real quick, we want to touch on bleeds and margins. So as you're going through your book, so one of the things we are going to ask you to do is kind of look at where the photo placements are and where your photos are. So in the case like this one right here, it is very close to the edge. This red box right here represents roughly the trim line right here. Anything in this green area is considered safe. So this image is safe. There's no need for to worry if this image will be trimmed or not. But as you come up here, you kind of run the risk of that this image being trimmed. There is a 1/8 inch trim line all the way around. Now, the trim all depends on the equipment, depends on the operator, depends on how sharp the blade is, depends on how the paper is loaded in and all that. So to um, take a look and make sure that any image is trimmed correctly, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our print preview and we're going to take a look at each page in a print preview, and you can zoom in. If we zoom in on this image right here, here we can see the trim line. This is this black and white line right here. And then here you're going to see that some of the student right here is going to be trimmed off of there. Now there is a plus and minus to this, but right here you can see some of the student will be trimmed. So you may want to think about placement of that image, or maybe moving that image or replacing it with another image that has clearance. And what I mean by that is when we go over to our images here, maybe replacing it with like an image right here. Here we have an image with plenty of clearance right here. In fact, I can move that image over here and still have a little bit of clearance. So we save that and move over to a preview. Right here, even in the line right here, I still see enough of this student that I could be clear with that. And there's enough right here on this top trim line that we're perfectly fine with this photo. So we don't have to worry about a student being trimmed or enough of the student being trimmed that you can't really see who it is. All right. So now let's quickly talk about before you submit your book or right before you get ready to click on submit, what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to, I believe it's your sales and submitting personalization right here. So if you click on your sales and right here below is your submit personalization. If you have any personalization, this is for your yearbook. Go ahead and make sure you confirm which personalization color that you want right here. Um, then right here, the second selection is include any personalization from like anyone who's paid in full or partially paid. You can include not paid. It's up to you. Confirm result right here. So it will tell you how many total records you have right here and how many number of students records with personalization. So like for my demo right here, I would have 0, but you could have like 10, 20, 50 with any personalization. How you want the box sorted, you can go alpha with basically ABC order, by grade, by homeroom. So select one and then come down here and click submit after you're done. And this will have to be done before you submit. So that way they know how many personalizations to get started on. All right, so let's talk about some of the things that we need to look for uh, as we're proofing a page. So one of the things we may want to look for, if you do include it, is page numbers right here. So here we have a page number on this bottom corner, but we don't have one over here. So to quickly add one, just go over here to text, click and hold on page number, drag it on the page, and it will snap right to where it needs to go there on a page. Other things we want to look for, and let's go ahead and zoom in just a little bit here. So some of the things we want to look for is we want to look at images, make sure the images are correct, and the images are what we want, especially candid images we want to use. Here, right here, we have the same candid image twice. So if you have that, just go to your images, find out another, find another image that you want to use, and just go ahead and replace it right there. Other things we want to do is check spelling. Uh, some words spell checker will catch, such as this is probably supposed to be the word school, missed the C, so we can fix that. And then here we have to fix the text, so we could probably go, there we go, and make sure that is fixed and save it. To check for any other errors, I'm going to show you a little trick. Right here in the bottom right hand corner of the screen is these lines right here with the little purple dot. So we're going to click on that and it's going to come up with comments. Over here, we're going to click this and it's going to come up with a pre-flight. This pre-flight will always tell us everything that's wrong on the page. So to give you an example, I'm going to bring this image frame and I'm just going to put this image frame right here. I'm going to save the page. And then right here under page 3, you will see a 1. So if we click on page 3, it will say an image element remains unedited. What that means is this image frame right here has nothing inside it. It remains unused. And so with that unused, the system will actually not let you complete this page. I cannot complete this page until I do something with this. So if I click on it, remove it, and then save, right here you will see now that error message is gone. I can come over here, I can click on complete, and now that page is complete. It will show you different ways of completing the page here in a minute, but this is just one way if you want to go page by page and look for errors. So let's talk about this page right here. So this page, what we're going to do is we're going to look around and we're going to look at all the text right here. What we ask is you use the zoom up here, and then you can zoom in just a little bit, use your wheel, use the sliders right here, and then just read over what has been put in there. Check for any spelling, check for any punctuation errors or anything like that, any grammar errors, any stuff like that. And then that way you can check to see, make sure everything is set up the way it needs to be set up. So here on this page 5 right here, we have this large image. One of the things that you definitely need to make sure that to check is your background. Even though this says it has a blue background, sometimes it won't let you complete the page, and that's because some pages were moved over from last year to this year, but maybe the background wasn't moved over because it was a custom background, not one of our backgrounds. And so what happens is that there's an image frame right here as a background. So if it won't let you complete it, move it over and make sure that you're not seeing this little symbol right here in this background, this little symbol of an image frame. If you are, that means your background is not a background, it's an image frame. And then all you have to do is just change your background to like any different color or something like that. And then you can move your image back and go from there. Now here on this page, we can look and see that everything looks good. We can see that there's images on there. We do see that one image is kind of overlapping this image, so that may be something you want to fix. If you want to, again, use this little pre-flight tool right here, and then you're going to see any errors right here will pop up as a little yellow box right here. So this is telling us there are a few errors on the page. So let's go over to page 5 and let's take a look at these 6 errors. So the first one says an image element remains unedited. So we're going to click on that. It'll actually highlight it here on the page. So what's happened here is this, we get this a lot too, is there's an error, but I can't find the box. 9 times out of 10, that box is right behind the image. So what happened is this image was just placed over here and just dropped, but it didn't go inside the box. So what happens is this this image frame right here is just hiding behind a box. So you could do one of two things. One is replace this image right here, or you could just click on this box and just delete the box. The other thing is we have another one right here. Same thing. This image was just brought over and they let go, but they didn't fall into the box. So now you have an image frame behind a box. So we can actually click on this little box and delete it. You may see something like a text element remains unedited. Text may be brought here and then it was never used. Another common one is you may have, let's go ahead and save. So another common one was a bunch of text boxes were brought onto a page. But the problem is that they were never edited because maybe they were just the right coloring to match the background of a picture or on an image or a candid image right here. And so it just made it hard to see that that was a text box there and there was a text box there. So in proofing it, you may have completely missed it. That's where this handy pre-flight tool comes in, because now you can find it, just click on it, delete it, and you get rid of those. So any other ones, you can sit there and delete them. Now you'll notice that as we delete them, these errors aren't going away. Once we save them, then you will see that 7 turn to a 4, because the system doesn't know these are gone until after you save it. Then we got that 1, so we'll save that. Now that page is complete. All right. So some of the other things that we want you to take a look at is also things like clip art. And so some of the things you may want to click on is make sure um, that the clip art is appropriate. Any clip art that is from an IP or original IP, it's intellectual property. Make sure that you have permission to use it. Some of the bigger things you got to watch out for, like Disney, definitely. If there's any Disney stuff on here, it has to be removed. That will get your book sent back to you. All right. Then we're going to come over here. Okay, so next we're going to look at portraits. This is probably one of the more important things to look out for. So one of the things we're going to do is definitely look at any spelling. So here we have Ford instead of fourth. So we make sure that we fix that. One of the things we definitely want you to check is the students' images. So here we can zoom in just a little bit. So best thing to do is to zoom in just a little bit, make sure the image is correct, make sure the names are spelled correctly. Right here we have our first issue. We have the same person with the same name under it. So if you catch something like this where you have the double images or double names, you'll have to mark one, do not use, reset the flow, and reflow your class after you do that. But go through, make sure names are spelled correctly, make sure the correct students are in there, make sure everything is perfectly uh, done in the way it needs to be displayed and all that. Another thing we want you to do is come over here to flow. So here we have this first class right here. Go to category and select this class as you're doing this. Because one of the things we want you to check is you have 21 images flowed, 0 remaining. So we have no other students that we forgot about. So after you're done with this one, of course, you come over here to this class. Before we start looking at everything, go to category, go to their class, and then check their images. Here we have 21 images. We have 20 flowed images and 1 remaining. This is very important to check to make sure that your every single image is portrait is on the page because you don't want to leave that one student out. Um, because the last thing you want to do is explain to a parent or have to go to the school and explain to the parent why their child was left out of the yearbook. And so if you see something like that, all you have to do is just reset the flow real quick, bring that one uh, image back, save it, and then reflow, and then check to make sure that says 0 again. Okay, so every single student is now on the page and we're good to go. All right, so before we move back to the page ladder, um, again, go over a few things. Make sure that you check the spelling. Make sure you check to make sure that there's no empty image frames behind boxes or behind other candid images. Please check the names. Make sure that everything is spelled correctly and every student is listed correctly in the portraits or under candid or under sports pages and stuff like that. Okay, so we're going to go back to the page ladder. All right, so one of the things we're going to do is look at the virtual proof of the book and all that. Um, so some schools, even though the advisor does all the work, they may have to send it to somebody like the principal or to a superintendent or someone to approve the book or to say yes, everything looks good and send it on. Which we highly suggest you have somebody else look at the book and take a look at the writing, take a look at everything, make sure everything's correct. Because you've looked at this book long enough, it may it may start running together. So having a fresh pair of eyes look at the book is highly suggested. So to do that, you can do this one of two ways. One is you can go to print and you can print all. By printing all, you will start seeing a PDF being generated right up here. So as it's generating a PDF, I'll show you another one. So here we have select all, or you can come over here and say the principal wants to look at the first 10 pages. Then once those are approved, it wants to look at the next 10. So you can actually go up here and actually click each page. So you can click on those and then come up here to print, print selected. And so there it will actually generate a PDF of just those 10 pages that you can send on. And so depending on the number of pages, this generating PDF may take a little bit. Another thing you can do is you can actually go to Showcase in Virtual Book. And then here you can actually look at the book in a virtual. So you can actually look at the book at a virtual and all that. Of course, I have a lot of blank pages. Okay. So let's go over some of these on the pages right here. So currently, all these pages are in progress. You can complete these pages one at a time. So as you're done with the pages, you can come up here and click on complete, and it will actually show that this page complete. If at any time a page is complete and you need to go back and make any edits, all you have to do is click on this little return button, and it will return that page into in progress. So you can actually start working on this page. Now, to do that as a whole, you can come up here to select, come up here to actions, click on complete. This will tell you how many pages you have completed and how many failed pages. So there's a lot right here. Please don't worry about that. This is my demo, so not all my pages have stuff on it. You may have like maybe one or two or three. Click OK, and then all you have to do is just start scrolling down and find out which pages are not not complete or in a still in progress. Like I said, these are my demo ones, so these will actually be in not started. But if you come down, you may see like, oh, these two pages right here are still in progress, so there might be something wrong with them. So I'll jump on those pages and take a look and see what's wrong with them. If you need to return the whole book to work on it again, all you have to do is select all under actions, return, and it'll return all those pages to in progress. So here we go. PDF is generated. So we're going to click on this little button right here. So right here is our book in PDF form. So it will also have all the trim lines, which is helpful because that will let us know where all the images lie and make sure everything is good to go. And we can kind of look at this page and get an idea of where everything is going to sit. And if you need to print it, you can print it or download it right here. So you can download this and then send it off to your principal, to a teacher, whoever needs to look at this. Then once all this is done and it's all submitted, you can, well, all marked complete. Please remember that once it's marked complete, that is your proof. That is the only proof you will get. So take a look at it one more time. Make sure that everything looks good. Once that is done, you can select all, come up to actions, and then you just mark it submit. Once it's submit, you're telling us that it is good to go and print it as is. So once it's marked submit, it will have a black line right here, submitted, and that is being sent to us to preview and then to start printing. For any reason that you need a page returned, if you saw something that you submitted everything, but you need something, a page or maybe a group of pages returned to you, please contact your rep and let them know, and they can help out. If it's a case of that the whole book has to be returned and then looked over again and submitted a bit later, definitely call your rep because chances are there may be waiting 1 week could have something to do with your delivery date or when it's going to be delivered. So if it comes down to that, you have to wait another week to submit. Definitely get a hold of your rep for that. Then once you're done submitting, you should get additional information to check, make sure like the books are being sent to the right school, the right address, the right people, and all that. And then, of course, the correct number of copies, any other things on your agreement. Make sure everything is good to go before we send those books out to you. Okay, so before we open it up to Q&A, just let me go ahead and read this outro, and then we'll open up to Q&A, and you can ask any questions you may have about submitting pages or getting things corrected or anything like that. So let me read this here real quick. I want to thank you for joining us today. The demonstrations of the functions related to finalizing pages in the school annual online program may reduce the stress sometimes associated with meeting deadlines. Please feel free to contact technical support for your or customer service consultant to aid in this project. Everyone at School Annual is looking forward to seeing your yearbooks this year and seeing what you have created. Thank you all very much for attending, and we'll go ahead and open it up to any Q&A.